All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we got something a little different. Obviously, we're looking here at the playoff bracket. I don't know why. Hold on, let me update this real quick. Reset, and boom, here is the playoff schedule for the Super Wild Card weekend. Now, changed that a couple years ago, but what an end to the regular season. Officially, regular season is over. It is playoff time, and I mean, things are already going down. Arthur Smith fired. Obviously, Ron Rivera fired. I think we all saw that coming. I mean, the Commanders have the second overall pick in the draft, so understandably so. Um, Obviously on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter at Rossi on YT, you would have seen my prediction that Arthur Smith was. I thought he was going to stay. He didn't, but I mean that's fine. Is what it is. I'm not a Falcons fan, but I hated watching the Falcons and not seeing them use the weapons that they have with Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. But that's a rant for another day. If you really want to hear my take on that, I probably have the same take as everyone else does, because not using your back-to-back number 8 overall picks in Drake London and Bijan, and then your number 4 overall pick in Kyle Pitts, 3 years in a row misusing them is absurd. Tyler Algier should not be playing as much as he is. He's a good back, but he is not Bijan Robinson. So I have no idea. I'm not going to guess on coaches. But I do think Ben Johnson would be a really good head coaching candidate for the Falcons with those weapons. I think that could be a really good option that they need to try and at least pursue. Just see what's there. I know I'm kind of going on a coaching rant here, but why not? I guess talk about a few things before we get into this. Commanders are already interviewing a bunch of people, or not interviewing, but requesting to, including Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, I believe. They're interviewing for GM spots, or requesting, I should say. I do think Eric Bieniemy should get a very legitimate shot at that head coaching position in Washington. I mean, he's already there. He made Sam Howell for the first half of the season really look pretty good, and that offense was actually putting up some decent points on some decent defenses. So I think Eric Bieniemy should get a look. I think he showed that he is not just a beneficiary of the Andy Reid scheme, even though he did bring that over to Washington, but obviously he implemented his own things. And you have a lot of weapons there. It should be a very desirable spot with the number 2 overall pick. You can go with a new quarterback, but you also have Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Curtis Samuel, along with Brian Robinson and Chris Rodriguez in the backfield. That is not horrible weapons. So the defense needs work, my God, but that is what it is. And really quickly, because I am a Giants fan, I need to say this. Eat shit, Eagles. Eat shit, Nick Sirianni. Y'all suck. 27-10, and y'all didn't. The Eagles did not look like they even wanted to play yesterday. That was horrific. I could not believe. Like, they made the Giants look like we should be the 5 seed coming into this next week. Unbelievable. Also, Jordan Love, we're going to get into it, but that man needs to be talked about more. So underrated. He has flown under the radar all season long. I think he had the second most touchdown passes this year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but he had over 30, and Prescott, I think, led with 36. So, let's see here. Yeah, Jordan Love was second in touchdown passes with 32 in his first year as a starter. So, you got to give, props when they're due. He was fantastic this year, especially down the stretch. Um, but yeah, I don't think there's really anything else in the NFL news. I do think Belichick's gonna stay, if you were wondering. Um, but we will see about that. But let's get into these playoff predictions. Starting in the AFC, the Texans with CJ Stroud, rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, and DeMeco Ryans against the veterans, Kevin Stefanski and Joe Flacco, who have looked unstoppable recently. I think this is going to be a really good game. However, I don't see like how the Browns could. I do see how the Browns could lose this game, but I think these teams already played, did they not, in the regular season? Um, and I believe the Browns won in Houston. I think Amari Cooper had a huge day, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, that was Amari Cooper's 265-yard day. So if the Texans want a real shot, they need to guard that man. Double coverage, like all eyes on Amari Cooper. Um, I know they had Davis Mills in that game, and they still put up 22 points. I mean, I guess it was a combined effort of Davis Mills and Case Keenum. Um, Still put up 22 points, but it was like 30, I think, or 28-7 going into the fourth. Something absurd like that. Like, they were out. Obviously, CJ Stroud would have made a big difference in that game. I'm still going to take the Browns, though. In the playoffs, defense wins games. And that's the truth. Defense will win you games. Offense will keep you in them. So I'm going to take the Browns. They are the better defense. I think they're just the better team, honestly. I think Kevin Stefanski probably should win Coach of the Year. If the Colts would have gone in, I would have definitely voted for Shane Steichen, or had my vote, I guess, as him, because what he's done in India has been incredible this year. But they're not in. It doesn't matter. DeMeco Ryans should definitely be up there as well. I do think, though, Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, these guys, they're going to get after CJ Stroud. They're going to make him work. They'll probably look at that Jets game and be like, all right, this is what we're going to do. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Put the corners in man coverage. They really only have Nico Collins now. Hopefully Mechie steps up. I think, I don't know if Noah Brown will be available, but obviously Dalton Schultz is a good option at tight end. But Nico Collins is the man that they're really going to have to pay attention to. Denzel Ward should be on him. But I think the Browns just have too much for the Texans to handle. But what a year for the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud, DeMeco Ryans. I mean, unbelievable turnaround. If it wasn't for Puka Nacua setting NFL all-time records, CJ Stroud would easily be Rookie of the Year, but it has to be Puka Nacua, who we'll get to later. But second game in the AFC, Chiefs versus Dolphins. Dolphins lose home field advantage by losing last night to the Bills. They're a really good team. These two teams already played as well. I believe they played in London, or maybe it was it Germany? No, I think it was Germany. It was like their lowest scoring, the Dolphins' lowest scoring output like all year was in this game. Oh, excuse me. And obviously the Chiefs' defense looks a lot different than it did in, what was that, week 9. But this Chiefs defense with Steve Spagnuolo, he knows how to bring the blitz. And, like, he's a very good defensive coordinator. He knows how to win in these big games. He's done it with the Giants. He's done it with the Chiefs, obviously. Um, and I'm never going to count out Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. No matter how lackluster this season has been for the Chiefs, I am never going to count them out. Patrick Mahomes is too special, man. He loves these types of games. I'm going to take the Chiefs. Great season from the Dolphins. And I do think this game is close, but I think there's going to be 5 minutes left in the game. This thing's going to be tied or maybe a field goal lead by the Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes is going to go down and end this thing with either a game-winning field goal or a game-sealing touchdown. It's just how it's going to go. That's how I see it, man. He is inevitable in these playoffs. He is so good in these high-stakes games. And obviously, Tua's never been here. I know he came into the national championship game in college, got it done in the second half, replacing Hurts, but NFL's different, man. It really is. And Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, they're going to bring their A game. And Steve Spagnuolo is going to come after you, so be ready, Miami. That's all I'm going to say. But Chiefs take that one, and we move to Steelers versus Bills. This is Bills all day. As far as I know, Josh Allen is a very good playoffs quarterback. He really is. I think he gets it done here. I think the Bills not blow out, but they'll win by about 10 plus, especially if TJ Watt is not there or not available, which I'm assuming that he's not. And you're going to have Mason Rudolph at quarterback. That Bills defense is still good, even though the secondary is still lacking some pieces that they've lost to injury this year. I think the Bills are just too much for the Steelers. They've been on a really good stretch as well, playing their best football late in this season. So that's the AFC side done. Now for the very, very interesting NFC playoffs. Eagles look like shit. Absolute they literally look like a 6-11 team. I don't understand how Nick Sirianni has managed to do this after going to the Super Bowl last year. But he has. It feels very similar to the Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz situation where they signed Carson Wentz big money. They win a Super Bowl even though it was without him. A couple years later, the wheels fall completely off the tracks, and they end up with Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. Now they've gone to a Super Bowl. However, they lost, but now it's not looking too hot. That secondary is very vulnerable, and you have a team in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who have Mike Evans. They have Chris Godwin, Trey Palmer, who I really like. He's a rookie out of Nebraska. Cade Otton at tight end, who is definitely not a bum. They've got weapons to attack this secondary. Rachaad White is a weapon out of the backfield as well in the pass or the run game. And Baker has shown that he is still that guy. He was not the number one overall pick for no reason. Let's just put it that way. I do think that this could definitely be a game the Bucs win, even though they are probably going to be underdogs at home, which is wild. I mean, I get it because they're 9-8, whatever. I'm actually going to take the Bucs. I feel like it's going to be a very popular underdog pick. Even though I do think there is a very good chance the Eagles still go in there and win. I'm assuming they'll have Devontae Smith and DeAndre Swift back. I don't know about A.J. Brown, but it doesn't look good. I don't know. If you watch the last Dallas game or the second Dallas game, and then this last game against the Giants and even the Niners game for the Eagles, What got them so off schedule is pressure. Todd Bowles is going to bring pressure. He is going to send blitz packages all game long. Wink Martindale for the Giants blitzed on 80% of defensive snaps. That is insane. And the Eagles couldn't do anything about it. Yeah, they lost A.J. Brown on like the second drive, but they could not do a single thing about it. Jalen Hurts looked lost. He looked like he was seeing ghosts. It was wild to watch because he was so good under pressure last year. And this year, it's just like they don't have a plan when there's like pressure comes. So I'm going to take the Bucs. Here, they're going to move on to the second round. Baker Mayfield, he better get a contract after this year. I'm telling you, man. Keep building around that guy until he basically proves he can't do it anymore. Matthew Stafford back home in Detroit. Oh, baby. I'm pretty sure it was Dan Orlovsky said it a couple weeks ago. The one thing the Lions do not want is for Matthew Stafford to walk in to Detroit to play them in the playoffs, and we got exactly that. Because he knows Matthew Stafford has been here before. He knows Matthew Stafford is so good under pressure. Maybe even elite. And the Rams can attack this Lions team. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, like both teams in the 30s. Obviously, you have two quarterbacks on both sides. They've been to the Super Bowl. Jared Goff, he's done this before. This is not his first playoffs, but it is Dan Campbell's first playoffs. It's basically the entire Lions team outside of Jared Goff, their first playoff appearance. So how are they going to react, basically? You have Sean McVay. He has won a Super Bowl, man. I really do think the Rams are going to walk in and take away the Lions, hopes and dreams. It's going to be Matthew Stafford with a dagger to the heart of Detroit. I cannot believe that we got this, but it is honestly incredible. I would not be surprised if the Lions won this game. I just think the more experience, kind of like the Browns and Texans, just more experience with the Browns or the Rams here than the Lions. They've been here before. Cooper Kupp should be healthy. Puka Nacua. Tyler Higbee, Kyron Williams. We've seen how susceptible this Lions secondary is to the passing game all season. And we saw it with Justin Jefferson yesterday and Jordan Addison. They let up some huge plays. And another big one is I'm pretty sure they're not going to have Sam Laporta. So that is huge. But I think the Rams are going to get in there or go into Detroit, get the win, and move on to the second round. Aaron Donald's going to make some big plays as well. I can promise you that. Final game of the weekend. Not actually. I'm pretty sure the Bucs-Eagles is on Monday night. But final game here. Cowboys versus the Packers. This one is going to be a lot closer than people think. Jordan Love, his stats against the pressure is pretty good. Obviously, this is his first time in the playoffs. But what does Dallas do? Every single year, they somehow find a way to choke. Right? They do. And I would not be surprised if they do it here. The Cowboys, I think Stephon Gilmore's fine. Deron Bland is not a good corner. At least man cover corner. The Packers are going to hit him with a lot of crossers, a lot of underneath routes. Aaron Jones is finding his footing. I know the Cowboys look really good. And Prescott is playing probably his best football of his career. I will give him that. I'm not the biggest Dak Prescott fan, but I will give him he's playing pretty good right now. Obviously, the defensive line is really good, and the Packers' offensive line has not been very good this year. So that could be like the winning point there is this Dallas defensive line is just going to get after Jordan Love. He's basically going to have no opportunity to pass the ball, which I could see. However, I don't think that will be the case. I think this game will be close. It's such an easy pick just to go Dallas. I really almost want to go the Packers. I think they're going to have Jair Alexander back after his very odd suspension. Don't even get me started with that. I think Jordan Love is going to walk into Dallas, and in his first playoff appearance, he is going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. I could be very wrong, but he is playing really good. Dallas is susceptible to big pass plays. They're not fantastic against the run, and Aaron Jones has been playing really well recently. So we're going to go Packers. I could be very wrong here, but this is the NFL. So it's just a prediction. And now to the divisional round. We'll go quicker here. Bills, Chiefs. Bills got home field advantage finally against the Chiefs, and I think they get it done, actually. Finally against Patrick Mahomes, as my cat obviously disagrees. I guess she didn't really like that pick. Maybe she's a Chiefs fan. I'm not really sure. But I do think Josh Allen, the Bills, finally get over and beat Mahomes in the playoffs. They beat him in the regular season in Arrowhead, in Buffalo. They have yet to do it in the playoffs. They finally do it here and get the dub. Let's go over to the NFC side of things, though. I think the Rams would take this again. Be like a repeat of a couple years ago. Stafford versus Brady. You don't like that pick either? Jeez, unpopular here. But yeah, I just think the experience. Obviously, both coaches have experience, but these two teams are very different. I'm going to take Matthew Stafford and the Rams here to get to the NFC Championship game. Who would have thought I would be saying that? Honestly, I don't know about this, man. We're going a little bit off the rails here, but we'll flip back over to the AFC. Ravens versus Browns. What a game it was the last time we had these two in the regular season. Deshaun Watson, that was his final game that he played, and he was awesome in it. And I would not be surprised if the Browns are able to beat them. I mean, I don't think anyone would be. I think this is the biggest threat to the Ravens is the Browns. They've beat them before. They have a really good defense. Obviously, division rivals, so this is the third time they're seeing each other. Do I want to do it? Lamar Jackson, this is the thing. It's hard to go against the Ravens. But from what we've seen, it's easy to go against Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, if you get what I'm saying. However, I think this is a very different Lamar Jackson this year. He has been very efficient, passing and running. And I think his playmaking ability at the end of the day is going to get them the win. And they will move on to play the Bills in the AFC Championship game. I almost went the Browns. Browns fans, you got a lot of hope, though, going into next year. Hopefully Deshaun Watson comes back. Maybe you want Joe Flacco to come back and be the quarterback. I have no idea. On the flip side, NFC, it's easy for me. It's the best team in the conference by far, the Niners. Dallas is a close second, probably. Closer than people think, even though I did have the Packers here. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if it's Dallas and the Niners in the NFC Championship game at all. But, yeah, man. The 49ers should have too many weapons. They have weapons on defense and offense to attack this Packers team. And I think the Niners front seven is too much for the Packers O-line in this one. Because with at least with Dallas, those like the linebackers behind the D-line, they are definitely a lot more vulnerable than Fred Warner and Drake Greenlaw. So, 49ers take this one with relative ease. And we will go to the championship games. Niners, Rams, Bills, Ravens. Are we going to get a Super Bowl rematch? People think that we are from 2013 because the logo of the Super Bowl is red and purple. I am going to take the Niners to get to the Super Bowl. I think they are just too much for the Rams. The Rams will give them a run for their money, though. But on the AFC, I am going to take the Buffalo Bills to get to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen will play in his first Super Bowl, breaking the heart of Lamar Jackson for one reason. I think the Bills have the interior pass rush to limit Lamar Jackson. Ed Oliver and I think it's Daquan Jones. They have very good interior pressure. I think they will be able to keep Lamar Jackson more contained. And that's going to be a big reason on why the Bills win. It's kind of shown throughout the year that the Bills have been able to shut down big time offenses, aka the Miami Dolphins. And I think Josh Allen proves finally the Madden curse wrong. I know Patrick Mahomes did it a couple years ago. Or maybe it was Tom Brady. I don't know. But Bills, Niners, Super Bowl. I would not be surprised, though, if it's Ravens, Niners. Here we are, though. Do the Niners finally get their Super Bowl that Kyle Shanahan has been looking for the past 6-7 years? Or do the Bills finally get to 1-4 in Super Bowl records after going 0-4 back to back to back to back in the 90s against the Giants, the Cowboys twice, and who else was it? I don't remember. I don't think it was the Redskins, if I can even say that. Commanders, whatever. I don't remember. Do they finally get the win, though? Josh Allen leading the way. Can he break the Madden curse? No, I do not think so. I think the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, finally proves he can put a full game plan together. He can adjust in the highest stake games of his life, and he finally gets it done because he has the quarterback and the running back, more importantly, to get it done. Christian McCaffrey, Super Bowl MVP is my prediction. Adds to his to-be Hall of Fame career with a Super Bowl MVP with a big day on the ground against this Buffalo D-line. It is a very good D-line, but the Niners' run scheme, man, is so good. They go horizontal and McCaffrey gets vertical very quickly, and it is very hard to stop. I think that's going to be the theme throughout the playoffs is no one can stop McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, even Kyle Juszczyk at times. And then they pull out the play action, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle. There's just too much. Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Randy Gregory, Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead. Fred Warner, Travis Ward. There's just so many guys that they have on this team. I think they finally put it all together. They get the ring that they have been chasing for a long, long time. And Kyle Shanahan finally adds a ring to a Hall of Fame coaching career. I just don't see a way outside of the Cowboys beating them or maybe the Lions. Maybe the Rams. I'll give the Rams that. In the NFC, though, I don't see a lot of teams that can beat the Niners on any given day. So I think they reach the Super Bowl. Obviously, they're definitely the NFC favorite to reach the Super Bowl. And I think they get it done. Bills, 49ers is my Super Bowl prediction. 49ers take it, and Christian McCaffrey is my MVP prediction for that game. Obviously, this would be a great Super Bowl. That's all I'm going to say. But thank you guys so much for watching. I don't think I really missed anything in the NFL news. But I will also say tonight is the college football playoff championship. And I'm going to take the Huskies, actually. Obviously, I don't prefer the Huskies, but something about that offense and how good Michael Penix was really gives me hope that they are going to beat the Wolverines, who I just don't want to root for. But I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan did end up winning the national championship. But I'm going to take the Huskies. I'm going to take Michael Penix. I think Rome Odunze is going to be the MVP of the game. Could be Braylon Trice too, but the matchup to watch is definitely going to be Will Johnson and Rome Odunze. Two very good players in their respective rights. But yeah, that'll be it for me today, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Also, mock draft season is here, so look out for some mock drafts. I'll probably do one next week since this is going to be the Monday video. Is playoff predictions this week, so look out for a mock draft next week. And if not, on Monday, maybe it'll be later in the week. I don't know yet. School just started back up, so a lot of things going on. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the recent support as well on the channel. And go check me out on Twitter, X, whatever, at Rossi on YT. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm uploading. And I keep you updated on Twitter as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sure you guys disagree with me on this playoff prediction, but it is what it is. The NFL is a wild place. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know where I went wrong. And let me know your Super Bowl predictions. But that'll be all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.